You're tuned in to Capital Jazz TV. I'm your host, Jodine Dorsey, and this is the 30th annual Capital Jazz Fest. And of course, we had to have Lindsey Webster here with us today. Lindsey, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm just so happy to be back.
Yes.
30th anniversary. That's a big one.
It's a big 30 years. Can you believe?
I mean, I've been here 3 years out of the 30.
Right.
So, but I can't believe it.
sense.
Congratulations to everyone who has been a part of this. I mean, that's incredible. That's huge.
Same. And another congratulations because it's been 10 years since the release of your first album.
I know.
Can you believe that?
No.
I've known you for 10 years.
I know.
Wow.
Yep, we go back now.
Yeah, we go back.
Oh, we're
We
old
go back
friends.
like old
We're old friends. I know. It's crazy. I didn't even realize until saw Facebook memories.
Yeah.
It'll like pop up, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, it's 10 years today that we had the release party, and it was very obscure, very in my hometown. It was a self-release,
Yeah.
and in my post, you saw my post.
Yeah.
I was like, pretty much no one knows this album exists because
did.
I mean the true followers,
heads.
like they know,
Right.
but yeah, like, wow, blast from the past. I was just like, now I'm 35, and it's crazy.
How has this journey, that's what I wanted to find out from you. It's like 10 years is a milestone, right?
Mhm.
Like, so how has this journey been for you as a jazz vocalist, songwriter, being in this like specific genre, the genre that they say is going extinct, right?
Right,
Like, jazz is dead. That's what you always hear.
Yeah.
How's it been for you for this last 10 years?
I mean, it feels, number one, like it went by in the blink of an eye.
True.
But at the same time, like, I remember moments that felt like they were going to last forever.
Yeah.
Just waiting to hear back from, like certain people about certain opportunities and like whatnot. But yeah, I mean, the thing is when I made my first album, Keith, my Keith Slattery, my writing partner, and I, production, music director, keyboard player, we were just writing. We didn't know any genre. He has jazz, classical background.
Mm-hmm.
And I just loved R&B. I never really listened to a lot of jazz growing up.
That's so interesting. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I was just like really into, like, I was a product of the 80s. I was
Right.
born in 88, so like
Yeah.
I was into all the girl groups of the 90s, the
Come on
R&B
now.
singers, like, and I really wasn't even hip to like Stevie Wonder or Aretha Franklin, like from the earlier. Even
Right.
though my mom had a huge record collection.
Right.
But she was more into like the Elvis Costello, Beatles, George Harrison, like she was more into like the rock side of things.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really subjected to a lot of the music that I love now.
Right.
And like the voices that I gravitate towards.
Right.
So I was just kind of like figuring it out on my own. My brother was in like punk rock bands. He's 10 years older than I am.
Yeah.
So it really wasn't around a lot. So then I met Keith, fast forward, and I'm like 21. And I met him at karaoke. I was singing karaoke. And he was not singing karaoke.
It all starts at karaoke.
It did. I mean, literally, the only thing that I was doing at that point was I was doing karaoke, open mic, like anywhere where there was an opportunity to get up and sing, I was doing it, because I didn't have a band. I didn't even know where to start.
Wow.
So, yeah. Yep. And Keith heard me singing at karaoke, and he was like, wow, like, what are you doing? I was like, you're looking at it. Like, he was like, well, if you want, I've got a gig. It's a duo gig playing at like a country club. It pays $100, dinner, drinks. I was like, I called my friends. I was like, I've made it.
Wow.
I was like, because we were broke. We were broke.
$100.
we were borrowing $20 from our friends just to like get some food.
I love these stories. I love them. Wow.
And I look back, like, we were having so much fun. Like, we didn't care that we didn't have any money. But then I started like getting these little gigs for like $100, And Keith and I, obviously had a great musical connection. Started writing together, and then our album got written over those next 2 years. We started recording it in like early 2012. It came out in the middle of 2013.
Were you always writing music though? Like were you writing before you and Keith started collaborating?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was actually working with some dear friends of mine who were making just like beats. It wasn't like they were making like, with the drummer, and it was just beats.
Right.
And so I actually made a little demo when I was like 14. in the studio, and I'm like, man,
We are gonna look for this demo.
I'm
We've
looking
got to
for the demo.
We've got to find this demo.
I write the guy Aaron, who was the producer, and I'm like, man, do you have any of those demos? He's like, I do not know where they are. I'm like, oh man, because they were good little songs. They were cute. So yes, I was always writing, always trying to, write poetry, just lyrics. Like words are my thing, So I mean, in terms of like the genre kind of going extinct, it's interesting because like in a lot of these festivals now, it's like you see the R&B singers from the 90s who were like, they were like the big stars, and so now it's kind of like their genre has kind of like petered out. So like the smooth jazz genre is kind of like, embracing that. So I'm just like interested to know for us, like, cause I'm, 35 and there's a whole bunch of us that are like younger. Like, what's the genre going to be? Because there's no way I'm ever going to stop doing this.
It's morphing into something.
Yeah, like it's not going to, I don't think it's going to go extinct as much as it's just evolving.
Yeah.
Like,
and then what does that new sound like? I think about some, some of the folks in your age group. I'm talking like I'm some old woman, but some of the folks in your age group, like the Terrace Martins and the Kamasis, like right, how they're kind of like turning it around, but elevating it. I would say evolving it, elevating it.
And they're even like more straight ahead than I am.
Exactly, way more than you are.
Like I always say, like I was born in the wrong decade, or like I was like if I was like making music back in the 90s, like I think it would be. I mean, because the thing about the radio is that like nowadays R&B is Rihanna, and it's a lot of pop. I don't even listen really anymore. I don't know. A lot of these artists have some interesting names. They're using like hieroglyphics and like little short, and I'm like, there's a little this one, a little that one. I don't even know anymore. I'm now I sound old. Right. Whatever. I don't care.
The auntie's coming out of her.
I don't care. But like, so it's like, it's those like Terrace and Kamasi, like they are keeping like jazz alive,
right.
So for me, I'm just like, I'm singing the music that I love. Keith and I just continue to write, like Reasons, my last album. We evolve, because like I listened after I made that post about the album being 10 years old. And then I flew to wherever I flew to, Atlanta yesterday, and I listened to the whole album down, and I was like, wow, like we've evolved so much. Like each song is a different genre in itself. Like we were definitely like, what are we gonna do here? And
there's a space for that. I want to be clear. Like I think there's a space for that.
Yeah. And so like, and then I listened to the next album, the next one, and all the way up to Reasons. And Reasons is definitely my favorite album yet.
Oh, tell me about that.
Yeah, we put it out last September. We've had a few singles. We're putting out another single now called The Way, and it is just. It's definitely heavier leaning R&B than like any of our other albums. Even though we've always had that tinge of R&B, but it went like less jazz, more R&B, which it was great because like our demographic, our market is still, they love it. They're like, this is your best one yet. I'm like, I'm happy they agree, because I was a little worried. We have a rapper on a song, like, when you try to change things, it's not that I was changing anything, just like doing more of what I wanted to do.
Evolving.
Yeah.
That's the word for us.
It is. It's evolving,
It's evolving.
But, it's a little bit scary when you do something like, we've never had like hip hop elements and like that. So, and some people are in the comments like, me without the rapper. I'm like, whatever. Because most people like it.
Evolve with music, babes.
Yeah. And
evolve with
and it's okay if some people don't like it, because it's what I like, and I really heard the song. And like I said, Little John Roberts has helped so much with the album, co-produced the record. And he really helped to, find Kev Choice, who was a rapper on it. He got the Nicholas Payton connection. Melvin Jones did all the horn arrangements, and it really helped make the album just incredible.
So much stronger, so much more.
Yeah.
I love that. And I will say this, and I know we've got to wrap soon, but I will say this, is when you're doing it from a space of what you want to do, it's so much more authentic, and we connect so much more to it, right? So like, don't take that away. I'm going to connect to a song that you want to do more so than a song that you're being told to do.
Right. And the good thing though is that like Keith and I have never ever done something because we were told to. And at the time, I always wanted to do what I was doing. But as I grow as a human being, I grow as an artist, you
That's
know?
right.
And so like all those songs and all those albums are very reflective of who I was at that time.
Yeah.
So and it's fine and it's good. I'm just happy that, and something about COVID kind of made me just be like, I'm
We
doing
didn't even
whatever
talk
I
about
want.
that.
I was
right.
like, I'm doing whatever I want. I was like, and I felt like more brave. I felt braver to come out and say, you know what, life is too damn short.
Life lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Life
And
lessons.
and let's just make the song the way we want it to be. Let's put some programmed drums on the record. Let's like, for fear of it not getting played on certain stations or whatever, because it's got
Do
the
it.
contemporary sound, like, you know. So,
Do it.
and then it's my favorite album yet.
Do
So-
it. Well, there it is. There it is. And how do people listen to this album and get in contact with you or follow you from where you're going?
So, you know, Apple Music, Spotify, however you stream your music, listen, YouTube. And my website is lindseywebstermusic.com. You can always go on there and check out where we're playing and whatever new things are coming out, happening. Instagram is like my preferred social media.
That's where I follow her.
Yeah. And I'm on Facebook. I haven't tweeted in like probably 5 years because I don't know. It's not really my thing.
Right.
So yeah, but you know, if you look for me, you can find me.
That's right. That's right. And I hope they find you in their city. Please go check out Lindsey
Yeah.
Webster when she comes to your city. It's a vibe.
Thank
It's definitely
you.
a vibe.
Thank you. I can't wait to play today. It's gonna
Yes,
be great.
today, and we are so honored to have you here at Capitol Jazz Fest.
Aw,
Thank you for
it's
being
my
here for our
honor.
30th.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Absolutely. Lindsey Webster, Jodine Dorsey, you're tuned into Capitol Jazz TV.